Well, we are here live from Shella grounds here in Malindi. It has been a rigorous 3 weeks campaigns here in Malindi. And finally, the curtains have closed down. It's now official that campaigns have ended here in Malindi. And affairs have now whittled down to Monday. Monday is the day of focus here in Malindi. And many will be looking to see which way this particular contest will take. One of the by-elections that, of course, has attracted a lot of interest. Stakes are high, according to observers. And many will be wanting to see been described as a two-horse race gets to pan out. Malindi is upbeat and everyone is looking to see which direction this particular election will be taking. Earlier in the day, we saw an action-packed day here in Malindi as, of course, all the top coalitions and all the parties were moving hither and thither, trying, of course, to woo the last-minute vote. Of course, this is expected to be the day really to convince those sway votes, those who had not decided on which direction they'll be voting. Today was their day to try and decide that particular bit. And to understand how prepared the authorities are for this particular election, I'm joined by Amina Sudi, who is the IEBC coordinator, elections coordinator for North Coast, to give us a bit of a feeling of how they are prepared for Monday's showdown. Well, good evening, madam. And IEBC, this elections comes at a time when a lot of questions have been raised about IEBC credibility and everything. How prepared are you for this particular challenge?
We are very ready. We have all our election officials trained and deployed to where they're supposed to work. We have all the materials ready, including the ballot papers. We already have briefed all our observers, accredited observers. Tomorrow we are going to accredit our media, all the media houses. And after the accreditation, we will be ready to move to our polling stations.
Earlier in the day, you had a press briefing and the commission was categorical that there was some sort of intimidation of your officers. How did it occur, and perhaps what are some of the steps that you've taken so far?
Yeah, there was some in a hotel that some of our officers were lodged. And after that, we called the authorities and asked what was happening. And we are planning to lodge tomorrow a formal complaint to the IG. But we have talked to them and they were not happy also. So we are going to see what they're going to do.
The last couple of days, we've had politicians actually on platforms and campaign platforms saying that some have pulled out, some are still in the race. So far, what is the true status of the ballot? How many candidates on the ballot?
The number of candidates we have is 7. That is the official, because we've also had, like you from the media, that 2 of them have pulled off. But today, when we were giving the badges for all the parties were there, the 7 of them. So I'm not sure if 2 of them, as they are saying in the media, are still running or they've moved. But for us, 7 of them are running. Yeah.
Taking you back to that question of intimidation of officers, how serious have you taken this matter? Have you written to anyone? Have you taken any steps so far?
Yeah, we have. We have talked to the authorities and they are ready to respond. So we are waiting for their response. Yeah.
Of course, it has been an election that has been packed with a lot of propaganda, a lot of things going around. Have you recorded so far any sort of misconduct in this particular exercise, and what can you expect on Monday?
Most of them will do it very secretly, but those that we suspected, we went on and asked them, why are you so many around here? Most of them will tell you that we are on a funeral meeting or a wedding plan or something like that. But as we all know, Kenyans, we have a cancer for bribery. So I'm just urging all Kenyans to stop this. It's not fair. Yeah.
Lastly, traditionally we've seen by-election, the voter turnout has always been in question on when it comes to by-election, voter turnout has been low. How different do you feel that this one is going to be, especially now that, of course, we are at a juncture when we are counting down months to the general election?
I feel like for Malindi, we are expecting a high turnout because the demand is high. We have 7 candidates. So if 7 candidates can mobilize all their voters and supporters to come and vote, we are expecting a higher turnout than normal. Yep.
Well, that has been Amina Sudi, who is the elections coordinator for the North Coast region, telling us how prepared they are. Earlier on, we had a lot of meetings here, and she's now giving us the final details on how the commission is prepared to undertake this particular exercise on Monday. Well, our eyes and our cameras will of course be trained on which way the direction this political contest will be taking, given that it has attracted a lot of interest from several quarters, and we will be of course keeping an eye to tell you events as they happen from here in Malindi. Back to you, studio.